Welcome back to Ambitions Vapor. I got another review for you today. Today is a comparison review, a showdown on all of the RDAs that I have reviewed and that has been out on the market recently. We're going to compare them, see what's the best, not so good. And yeah, it's the RDA showdown. Let's get to it. As you saw in the thumbnail, hopefully, these are all the RDAs that are going to be in this comparison showdown of review, okay? If the RDA was not in the thumbnail, that means I haven't used the thumbnail or it didn't make the showdown. I couldn't add every single RDA because it would just be way too many RDAs, and I wanted to narrow it down to the most popular, the ones that I've liked the most, and kind of give you my thoughts on what I think is like the best RDA and what is not so good. A lot of these are my favorite. Some are not so much my favorite. The Apocalypse RDA, the Twisted Messes Square 22mm version. I've reviewed all of these RDAs in this comparison review, okay? So if you haven't seen the review on any of these RDAs, it's on my channel. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch the review on the one that you're interested in, come back. The Dot Mod Petrie Stainless Steel Special Edition, Dot Mod Petrie version 2, the Goon 22mm RDA, Twisted Messes 24, M-Turk RDA. Drip Trip is Faro Dripper Tank. This is really like an RDA, so I added it to it. Tokugawa by Tendu Vapor. Twisted Messes Squared Light. Recoil RDA by Grim Green. Dude RDA by Squid Dude. The Goon 24mm version RDA. Brass version. So those are all the RDAs. We have 13 different RDAs, guys. Oh, I know there's a lot of questions out there. There's a lot of questions like, what's the best RDA? What's this compared to that RDA? That RDA compared to that RDA? You know, there's a lot of questions that people ask me based on which RDA to purchase, which one I like the best. So I thought this was a good comparison showdown review to do. And there's a lot of good RDAs here, and there's some bad RDAs as well. I'm just going to give you my worst to my best favorite RDAs. Now, a lot of these RDAs, I feel, are very close. Okay, a lot of these RDAs are close. So, you know, if I have one a little bit higher than the other, it's because I had to place it in some sort of a category, some sort of a placement on them. My least favorite RDA out of all of these is definitely going to have to be, I didn't even have to think about it, guys, is the Dude RDA. Now, the reason why this is my least favorite RDA is because I love the flavor on this, okay? I love the airflow on this. It is the I love the looks of this RDA. There's a lot of things that I like about this, but the collet-based system on this really ruins this RDA. Has huge voltage drop. The connectivity on this is the worst. Second least favorite RDA would have to be the M-Turk RDA. Okay? This thing has great flavor. Okay? All of these RDAs have good flavor. This is probably maybe one of the best for clouds. No adjustable airflow. That's a big con. Huge posts. They're really tall. But it's also a $90 RDA. This is probably the most expensive RDA out of all of these RDAs. Okay, this is the most expensive, and for what you get for the price point, it doesn't add up. Out of all the drip tips on all of these RDAs, this is my least favorite drip tip. Other clamp system RDAs that I have here that have beveled clamps, and this one does not. The Brass Goon, okay, not the Goon itself. The Goon being brass. I do not like brass on my RDAs. I don't like brass on the deck. This whole thing is brass. The inside, the outside. I wish that he made maybe some sort of the brass on the outside, but the deck was 24 karat gold or something, because it messes up the taste for me. I get a metallic-y, brassy taste out of it. I'm not saying that the RDA itself is my third least favorite. I am saying the brass version is my least favorite. The Pharaoh, the clamping system, it's spring-loaded. So you just put them in and you tighten it down. And it has a little level on the side so it doesn't slide out. Really nice. Airflow is directly under the coil. That's another big pro. I don't like how the top cap screws on to the deck. It's my biggest con out of this dripper tank. I think the airflow is a nice airflow. It's kind of one-sided. It is a little bit restrictive. Even wide open, it's a little restrictive, you know? But it's nice. I like it. I definitely, this is one of my favorites. You have to use a unicorn bottle and stick it in the corner to fill it. And then sometimes it can get a little bit messy. The recoil RDA. Negatives are higher than the positive, okay? So you put the higher lead in the top. You don't have to bend the coil. And the cotton's not in the way. This is one of the most conductive RDAs that I've come across, okay? You don't get crackle on the coils on this. They don't crackle. They just straight, like, give you vapor production, give you the flavor, and they don't really, you don't get a lot of spit back on it. Well, you get spit back, but they don't crackle. You don't get hot pieces flying and hitting your lip. It does a really good job at heat dissipation. Taking off the top cap is a pain. I wish there was some type of, maybe the top cap was a little bit outwards so you could just grab it and pull it. But you have to find it and get your fingernail in there and then kind of rock it. And then hopefully it will come out. Dot Mod's Petrie version 2 RDA. Love this thing, man. Awesome RDA. One of my favorite looking RDAs out of all of them. The original airflow was a little bit too restrictive, and I felt like the cloud comp was a little too airy. I like kind of in the middle of the road, and I'll get to that. The Twisted Messer Squared RDA. This was my favorite RDA of last year, or beginning of this year, or I don't know. But it's definitely been my favorite RDA of like the whole year. Wait, I have it on the Triad DNA 250. I have M-Turk Alien 27 gauge Claptons in it. 110 watts. I have some Jam Monster e-liquid in this one. This is like my favorite e-liquid as of right now. This, I can't put it down. One of the best flavors I've ever had. This could be number one. This is where it gets like tricky to me, okay? It's really hard to put them like one's better. Like these are all equally, almost equally as good. But this is one of my favorites, man. If you're thinking about getting this RDA, don't hesitate. And this one's just as good. And I love the looks of that. I'm just waiting for a box mod to put it on. Waiting for a nice colored box mod to go with that. This is tough. Like, I have a very tough time on choosing which one to show you next. And I've been thinking about this all day to do this review. It's tough. The Tokugawa RDA by Tendu Vapor. Guys, this thing surprised the shit out of me. Okay? Surprised the shit out of me. It's got bottom airflow and it's got side airflow. I use a little bit of the side airflow and I keep the bottom airflow wide open. It is to die for. But there is a couple cons to this. Bottom airflow, adjustable. Side airflow, adjustable. If you're a type of person that likes to do Instagram photos of builds, this is the one to do, man. I mean, just look at that. It looks like kind of like a flower. I love it. I just love it. Now, a little bit of a con to it is you don't really have a lot of room to do dual coils in it because the posts are really thick, as you can see, and you have to put the coils kind of close to each other. 26 gauge like Aliens or 24 gauge like Fuse Claptons will not fit in this. Build in it, you have to take the grub screws fully out to put the builds in because you have to get the leads under, so it's a little bit difficult that way. But the airflow comes directly under the coils. This thing has tremendous flavor. O-rings are like. Oh, I love that sound. When O-rings do that, solid RDA guy. The price point of all of these are roughly $60 $50, $60. They're all in the same category as price as well. So that's why it's really, really tricky for me to like give you best and worst, because these are all solid RDAs. Goon drip tips do fit in it. The Twisted Messes 24. Great flavor, great vapor production, great airflow, great looks. 24 karat gold plated deck. I love Twisted Messes build decks, okay? It's a 4-post design, easy to build, very conductive. The leads go directly down onto the coils, onto the leads of the coils. The only downside to this, I'm thinking about you guys, is that the drip tips are really, really big. So you can't use your Goon drip tips. You have to go out and buy another drip tip. I haven't really seen any aftermarket drip tips specifically for this RDA. I could be wrong. I really haven't looked lately because I've been so damn busy. But love the RDA. This is not made by Wismac. I don't know who makes it. The Petrie Stainless Steel Special Edition RDA. 0.16 James Mucklin Alien Claptons. I have a link in the description if you want to get his coils. $10 shipped. Best coils. I only use those coils. And the draw on this is perfect. It is different from the Petrie version 2. It is in between the Petrie version 2 regular and the Cloudcom. It's right in the middle. It's got 3 holes. I did a review on it. Perfect draw I have on this. Flavor is perfect. Cloudage vapor production is perfect for me. Build decks, just like the Petrie version 2, besides you have version 1 and version 2 post holes. Awesome. You can do really intricate builds for Instagram and stuff like that. That's what I love about this one as well. It's 22 millimeters in diameter. I know it's a little bit small, guys, but a smaller chamber, it's going to give you a better flavor. Very conductive. Doesn't really get hot at all. Middle of the road airflow. You can't adjust the airflow on this. That could be a con of somebody, just like the M-Turk. But I feel that this, for me, that airflow is perfect. It's my favorite draw. It's not too airy, not too restrictive. It's the middle of the road. Great clouds, great flavor. You know, you got to sacrifice one for the other. But when you hit that middle ground, you get awesome flavor and awesome clouds. That's what this gives you. Is the Goon. Second, this is runner-up. This is almost number 1, is the Goon 22. I know. It could have been the 24, but the 24 I have is brass, okay? So I got the 22 millimeter stainless steel version. Great airflow, great drip tips. I mean, that looks beautiful, okay? The clamp style, beveled edges, Phillips head screws. They don't back out. They work great. You just shove them in, you tighten it down, you cut the leads, and you just vape. You can't go wrong with the Goon, okay? The 24 or the 22. This has got better flavor than this one, you know? It does. This has got better flavor than this. A little, in my opinion, it does. These two are definitely very close on flavor. But I'm being honest with you guys. That's the point. Number 1, RDA. Number 1 RDA. The Apocalypse RDA. By Armageddon, MFG. Okay, in my opinion, it's the Goon killer. It's a little bit. It's not substantially crazy. It's just a little bit better than the Goon. Clamp style system, beveled clamps. There's towers on each side of the, there's towers on each side, so the leads don't slide out. The Goon, they can technically slide out. O-rings are perfect. On this one, I have like a bunch of different Apocalypses, okay? I have the gold, I have the heat treated, and I have the blue. Okay, I have 3 of these things, dude. 3 of them. I used this RDA more than any other RDA lately, okay? Because of the airflow configuration. It's a teardrop airflow configuration, so you have a lot more options turning the top. Okay, you can get it down like almost completely restrictive, and then you can have it wide open. In wide open, it's 5 millimeter air hole in diameter. 5. It's 5 millimeters on each side. A lot of airflow. You can turn it down one way. I like it about, like closed off like that. It's about halfway closed off. Love the symbol on it. It goes with my logo as well, as you can see. All right. Then it has Apocalypse on the other side. Goon drip tips do fit in it. That's another huge thing about it. It has heat sink fins on the top, so this does not get hot at all, guys. It doesn't get hot. Plenty of airflow configurations. 24 karat gold plated deck. I like the clamp system on this a little bit better than the Goon. I have titanium screws. The colored screws that I showed you are titanium colored screws. So, a little bit more connectivity. Plus, it adds a nice color to it when you take Instagram photos and whatnot. The flavor on this is the best flavor I've had. And I can use all my Goon drip tips on this. I don't have any cons to this RDA. I've been using this thing for, I don't know, a month or two now. Every day, all day, you name it. And I don't have any cons to it. Zero cons. Very conductive. Cloudage, you can open that up, man. If I really open that up, flavor is still there. Favorite RDA, I got 3 of them, guys, you know? The showdown of all the different RDAs. I hope like this was helpful. I hope it was cool. I hope you enjoyed it. It's really tough to kind of do this and have like a strategy on how to like get the message across. But I hope I did a good job. I think I did a good job, you know what I mean? You can't go wrong with Twisted Messes, Apocalypse, Goon, Petrie by Dot Mod. You can't go wrong with any of those. That's really the point of this video. In my opinion, those are the best RDAs on the market. The Tokugawa, I can't forget that one. For Instagram. This one's great for Instagram as well. Out of all the RDAs, and I vape these a lot, all of them, that's kind of my experience with them, and I wanted to share it with you guys. The Goon LP is coming out in the very near future. I'm really excited about that one. I will review that for you guys, hopefully by the end of this month. I'm waiting on that one because that one's it's a low profile. I hope it's going to be as good as it looks. It's really hyped up already. It's not even out yet. And I can see why. It's got a really unique build style on it. And it might replace the Goon, regular one. Who knows? It might replace this. Who knows? You want to know? That's my favorite. Plus Twisted Messes and Petrie and Goon. They're all... You can't go wrong with either one, man. You really, really can't. But this is a little more expensive as well. This is like anywhere between like $65, $70, and $100. So it's a little bit more expensive, but I think it's highly worth it. Really depends on what you're looking for airflow, what you're looking for building, you know, what your type of builds are. That's really what it boils down to. If you like smaller builds, go with a 22 millimeter. Go with the Goon 22 or the Petrie stainless steel special edition. That's a little expensive as well. I think it's like $90, okay? Or the Twisted Messes squared if you like smaller RDAs, okay? If you like bigger RDAs, you're going to love the Apocalypse. I think this has got the best flavor, even with the 22s. I don't know what it is. It doesn't have a conical design, but I don't know. It just has awesome flavor. I don't know what it is. That's what I got for you today, squad. I hope you enjoyed this review, comparison review showdown. I hope this answered a lot of your questions that you had. That's like the point of this. I hope I got it across well. And if I did, you know, you guys know what to do. I give you content daily, 1080p, 60 frames per second. Don't waste your bandwidth not being subscribed to the channel. Stay juiced up, squad. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.